my car, Madman. And today we are in for a MADMAN Podcast. I am joined by him, her, and him.
All right. That's exciting. That was a little sinister.
Yeah.
You'll find out who him is
Now you
in
know
a
we're
little
getting
bit.
close to Halloween.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Halloween.
What is our first spooky topic?
That's right.
This is not kind of the topic, but it's a question. You just brought up Halloween. What's your favorite Halloween movie?
Ooh. Oh. That's a question. So, normally, I don't know if I have a favorite. Spookly?
Oh my god.
Questionable?
Questionable. It's a Halloween and Christmas movie, which is Nightmare Before Christmas.
Ditto.
Ooh, okay. So
Phenomenal.
so that brings up a big question. How do you think it's a Halloween or a Christmas
I think you
movie?
just answered that question.
Right? Because there's a lot of, it's very split down the middle.
It's a Halloween movie.
I believe so too. I believe that's a Halloween movie. We don't bring that into Christmas.
It's
No,
a
no,
Halloween
it's-
movie that takes place in Christmas.
Well, my art teacher put on Night
Yes.
for Christmas. So, I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
it
A lot of
it
people see it as
felt
a
right.
Christmas
So
movie.
it's kind of weird. Like, I don't know. I think that I prefer it as a Halloween movie, but it could
if
be
you're
either.
seeing monsters during Christmas, then I don't know what you deem as normal.
To
But
be fair, I don't know. It's such weird because the movie starts off as this is Halloween, but majority of the movie takes place during Christmas.
yeah, but it's
Well,
still monsters
Yes.
during Christmas.
It's like a Halloween village jumping into trying to take over. You can't say it's an Easter movie. I know he goes into the Halloween door, but there's also the Thanksgiving and the Easter door. Had he ended up anywhere else, I don't think I'll be watching that for any other holiday. It's a Halloween movie.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I agree. I'm just saying that I can see why some people think it's Christmas. Actually, I think the best thing to consider is Bridge. I like to watch it on Halloween night, and then by the time I wake up, it's November, and because I'm a clown, I start celebrating Christmas.
Well, I'm clowning with you because there's usually you're either super into Halloween or super into Christmas. There's the people that are right in between, but for me, I'm a Christmas person, and I kind of I celebrate it, but I kind of get through Halloween to kind of get to my Christmas festivities. So the whole creepy Nightmare Before Christmas is not allowed into that time.
Creepy Nightmare for Christmas. I mean, there's other options if you want horror.
Oh.
I don't think we need horror in our lives right now.
No.
Nutty. Okay.
All right,
So,
so let's see.
begin.
What's your favorite Halloween movie?
Oh,
Well,
right.
It's between yours, and yours.
Spookily Nightmare for Christmas, Nightmare for Christmas.
Him, or hers. So.
Just see.
Okay. So I don't know that I can pick a Halloween movie that I'm like, I must see.
Must see. I mean,
It's
like
just Nightmare Before
a new
Christmas.
one.
To get you into Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, and for everyone, the final Halloween comes out this October. The final Michael Myers movie, Halloween Ends, and it ends everything apparently.
What do we think of the last?
Halloween Kills.
Yeah, the last one.
Oh, that was very good. It didn't have as much plot, but it was still quite good.
When it released in what, January?
No, October.
October?
That's
Really?
the one. That's
Oh
the
my God,
one
watch
horror
it.
movies that always release in October.
It was Scream that released.
Because
in
it always
January.
takes place during Halloween.
Yeah. I mean, that would be weird if it took place in like May or something like that.
Like he comes out during the summer. Like,
Hey guys, I'm back.
I'm gonna come out when the days are
I'm
longest.
here early.
I have like 3 hours
Oh!
of darkness to kill.
Wait, we're forgetting something. Hocus Pocus.
Oh my
I
gosh!
love that movie.
Hocus Pocus 2 is next month, September
Completely
30th.
forgot about that.
I love that
Yes,
movie.
I did too.
Is it coming to Disney Plus?
Yeah, immediately.
Yes.
That's my favorite.
Are they using the same
Yes.
actors?
Uh-huh. Well, the witches.
The witches.
That's
The
great.
kids, they're new protagonists. So
Okay.
yeah, it'll be something.
Maybe they'll do a cameo.
Maybe, but then again, they're like, who are those kids again? Because I don't know if any of them got famous.
Well, yeah, or
Yeah,
what they
but-
look like now. But they should. They
Yeah, you
should
can
be
still
in
do a
it. If
cameo.
they
Yeah.
can't go and get the big stars and then be like, okay,
Remember-
well, you guys were.
Remember in the first movie, the cat helps them figure out how
Yes.
to handle it, but the cat is gone. So now it's gonna be at the end. They're gonna show up. Boom. Be like, yo, we know how to do this.
There. That would be the
Oh,
corniest
yeah.
thing. So cliche. That would be very upsetting.
Oh
if
yeah,
they actually
because
did
they
that.
don't know how to do it.
No.
The cat can't tell them, so the kids have to.
I prefer it if it was like some cute-ish where they like, go to like a store, like, I need to buy this. He's like, sure. The store clerk is the kid from the movie or something like that. Then
So
that
he's
would
a
help.
hobo.
Exactly.
40 years later, and he works at a
Walmart.
Walmart store clerk. Oh my god.
That's funny.
But
Well,
he's the manager.
He has 6 kids with the with the lady.
it might be good. It might turn out good. We'll see. We'll see what happens. When is it coming out?
September 30th.
September 30th, right before.
There we go.
Going into
Yeah,
October.
so. Yeah.
Watch it.
Meow.
Okay, so
Meow,
the
meow.
beginning of this podcast officially begins right now. So
All right. What
we'll
do we
start
got?
off with a fun topic.
Wait a minute, no. You didn't say-
Oh
What's
yes,
happening?
no, yes. He said.
He said Nightmare Before Christmas too. But
Yeah,
then there
Nightmare
was
Before
this new information.
that is true.
New
What do you
information.
think? She wants to know what you think of Hocus Pocus.
Oh, Hocus Pocus? I don't know. I like Hocus Pocus a lot. I think that it's a Halloween classic. We did see it.
I think that
I saw it.
bitch right
Halloween.
there. Like.
Liar. Okay.
Yeah.
real boy.
Oh, we forgot about the real Halloween.
Well, we gotta
movie.
mention that.
Pinocchio.
But yeah, that's the topic
There you
for
go. The real
later,
Halloween movie.
everyone. Okay, so let's get started
Let's
with
go.
some spicy topics. First off, a brand new Avatar: The Last Airbender video game was leaked by Amazon, and the game will apparently be titled Avatar: The Last Airbender: Quest for Balance. Now, supposedly, due to leaks of the game, it will be a Breath of the Wild style game that has a very similar art style and has the open world mechanics. So,
So basically,
what do you guys think?
Copycat?
Breath of the Wild with characters that nobody cares about.
Very fun.
Sounds great.
Now, if you told me that
Clear.
if you told me that 10 years ago, sure. But after it went on Netflix, it became the highest streamed series on the service. I don't know if it was beaten. It probably was because of Squid Game.
How was
But
it
it was for a
rated
while.
by Amazon?
What? Amazon? Squid Game was
No, I'm
Whoa.
sorry. The
Avatar.
Yes, how was that leaked by Amazon? Like they put out the cover or they put out the name
data
of the game
mines.
for
They probably
order?
usually when they have to, for these retailers and the people who make the game, they have to contact the retailers and get the information and put on their website and all that stuff. They have to program it so that when the game is announced, they can immediately have it go up because that's
Okay.
a lengthy process. And sometimes it gets out early, like Rage 2, the infamous Walmart leak. So
So when is
It
this game
happens.
supposed to come out? That it was just leaked?
to be announced. Yeah, it's just the game so far, but
So potentially sometime next year for the holidays.
Something similar happened because I think a year ago, maybe 2, there was the Five Nights at Freddy's, the core collection. It was like a collection of all the mainline Freddy games.
Yes.
And that was a leak. It had a cover and everything. It wasn't confirmed, but not long after, they did confirm it. So I believe this is real.
Okay.
There's a lot of leaks that happened. Nvidia had a huge one, and it's been like years.
Mhm.
It leaked games that are like people at the time were like, never, and like there's still all those leaks are coming true.
Whoa.
Oh, cool.
Whoa.
Whoa.
That's right.
Whoa.
That's him.
Whoa. Oh, yes,
Wait,
that's
is
him.
Is
That's right.
is he
So
him or-
so
him. That's
he
him.
is. So as far as those leaks are concerned, we appreciate leaks, but this game, I guess I have to see it and see if it looks good. I feel like there's a lot of copycat Breath of the Wild games that came out and nothing stuck.
Yeah.
Of course. It's just like, because like, they see something popular, like, we want to do that. And every single gosh darn time, it's always inferior in some way. I don't know. Like, why even bother? Because Breath of the Wild is obviously, it might be, I think it's the best open world game in terms of balance and the beauty of its world and stuff like that. Like Assassin's Creed, Valhalla, like, I don't know. It looks really nice, but I mean, it's like a hole you get into. You just can't stop doing stuff, and I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I mean, Breath of the Wild also was like 150 hours.
It didn't feel like it.
I did it in 50
Didn't
hours.
you lose your save on the game and you like literally replay the game?
No.
I did not replay the game because that was traumatizing. But
No.
I lost.
That was
Well,
so
the bad part
upsetting.
is that I bought the expansions.
Oh,
but I
did you
lost my
play the
Switch.
expansions because
Only
or
the
because
first
you
one.
lost the?
Only the first one a little bit, and then my Nintendo died and took the save with it.
Oh.
Yeah. And Hyrule Warriors.
A moment
the
for
Age of
this.
Calamity.
Just a moment of silence
silence.
for this. This was deep.
Okay.
All right.
Can't wait for Breath of the Wild 2.
Oh, Breath of the Wild 2 is gonna be phenomenal. Hopefully.
This is
I
the
think
thing.
that.
Oh,
yeah.
go ahead.
Sorry, with and yeah, Hyrule Warriors: The Age of Calamity. That was a nice distraction. I think that it told the story what happened before, and while I did really like it, I do think it's really good, but it may not as good as Breath of the Wild. They're two different games. It's a Warriors game, one of the best Warriors games out there. I don't know. Omega Force. They've been doing some wild stuff. Like they did a canon Breath of the Wild prequel. They made a canon Persona 5 sequel. So yeah, they started to get really well with it. Now, Age of Calamity, for the most part, it's a prequel. However, near the end, it becomes almost like a what if, as the future comes to the past. A bunch of characters from Breath of the Wild come back to the future to help their champions, and they destroy the Calamity successfully. And apparently now they updated the timeline, and it breaks into a new timeline. And I'm like, it's a mess, that timeline. Literally, all the movies are legends. So basically, it's like, what if Link failed to beat Ganon? And all these games connect to that. What if he succeeded? All the games come into that. Then what if Link didn't even bother with it? Then all those links connected that. It's like, I think, I don't know, it's just huge.
That's interesting. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, when it comes to the Avatar game, I think that what they're doing is, you said the show, Netflix picked up the show, and it's probably doing well. So they're attaching a video game to it.
Yeah.
The fans of the show, if they play games, will eventually pick it up, and
Yeah.
it's just like anything else that they do video games for, that is linked to a cartoon or an anime.
Yeah, well,
or a show.
it's a cartoon, but yeah. If you guys, for anyone who doesn't really, not a big fan of the animation aspect, Netflix is making an Avatar: The Last Airbender remake in live action.
Yeah?
Yeah, and things are messy because the creators used to, like the creators of the original show, were on board. However, Netflix wanted to take a different direction of it. Netflix wanted to make it a more mature, have like more violence and sexuality, and then the creators were like, no, we still want it to be like a kids show, like the original was. We want it because the original was known for like, even though it always stayed kid friendly throughout its entire run. However, it did have a lot of character development and it had a really deep story, supposedly, for people who watched it, and it makes it accessible to everyone, but kids can still see it. So basically, they're like, we still want to make it family friendly.
But they already
that
did
was
it.
like, get out of here, and they left literally.
But they made already a live action one, correct?
No, that was a movie that looked horrible. Like I haven't even seen it, but the special effects look super cheap. Like
It's that movie, right?
Yeah, there was a movie. It's not connected to that. There was a
It's
live
not
action
connected. It was
Avatar. It was called The Last Airbender, not to confuse with James Cameron's Avatar.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So there was
Well, yes.
anime Avatar
Cartoon.
made into a live action.
Yeah.
So I wasn't interested back then. Maybe this new one
We'll catch your eye.
would be
Reel
more
you
interesting.
in. We'll see. I mean, Netflix is doing pretty good.
Yeah.
When it comes
I
to
know.
one of our streaming services, then
We gotta give it a try.
I don't know. Netflix is like a loose cannon sometimes. Like they can make some unpredictable stuff. Video games they've been doing excellently. Obviously, Witcher, Arcane, Cuphead. I use the same examples, but what else? Like other examples can I use? He uses They do some good stuff. They also did Dota, Tekken. They can do some nice stuff. However, with cartoons or animation, that's where they get iffy. Like recently, they released a Cowboy Bebop. They put a whole bunch of advertising into it, and they canceled it after one season because it got critically bombed. Because they just made so many unnecessary changes. That I did like it a lot.
well, it's
However,
not Netflix
they started
making
to
these things. It's Netflix.
Netflix
funding these
invested,
things.
yes.
But the company who made Cowboy Bebop is the one who messed it up, not Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You
I
know
think
what I'm
that
saying?
Now, I was interested in seeing that show because of the cast.
Tina Fey, John Cho.
what show?
I remember who was Jet. Cowboy Bebop. Yeah, they had a bunch of big actors for that one. Who was Jet in? Who was Jet in?
Do you watch Last Airbender?
Netflix.
Watched it like once.
Ooh, Mustafa Shaker.
Is it good?
What did you think? Well, she said I watched it once, so I think we
I just
know
want to
where
hear her say it's
we know
trash.
where she stands.
No,
Oh.
I've seen Avatar. I never finished
What's the
it,
best?
but I have seen it. It's really good. So
What's really good?
Avatar, Last Airbender. So yeah,
Yeah, how many times have you watched it?
a few times. I don't know. It's
No,
on Paramount
you're
Plus. I need to
lying.
download Paramount Plus.
So the show that has multiple episodes, you saw a few times.
Well,
For anybody who wants to see it, it's coming. Or no, play it. It's a game. The show's been on
Yeah.
Netflix, right?
Show's been on Netflix. Nobody's watched
So,
Oh my god.
you guys are crazy.
it. All right, let's get out of the anime world again.
It's not anime. It's a cartoon.
You just said it's a cartoon.
It is.
I thought you were trying to say it's a game.
It's about the show. You were talking about the show clearly. It was made by the studio who made SpongeBob. Just think about that for a little bit. So yeah. Anyway, I think. Yeah. All right. Next topic. Doom Eternal is officially coming to Nintendo Switch physically through limited run games. Now, this is significant because the physical version of Doom Eternal for Switch was meant to get a physical copy, but was scrapped last minute and given a digital-only release. Now, Limited Run Games is keeping the dream alive and releasing a physical copy for a limited time.
Fun fact: Limited Run Games was also purchased by Embracer Group.
I heard about that.
They buying everything. They don't care. You make games, buy you.
Let's go.
You sell games, buy you. You make comics, buy you.
Well, they're gonna start buying coffee mug companies at this point.
What I don't understand is how are they capable of doing it? This no-name group of people, Embracer Group, but like Microsoft just saying, "F it, we don't need any of this stuff." Like, start scooping stuff up.
Yeah. Something's happening.
Well, they don't want to buy just. Well, Activision's been a nightmare. Like, they've been trying to buy that. I don't think it even went through yet, right?
It's still going.
Yeah, it just doesn't work. PlayStation's just like praying, like, God, give us Call of Duty still. We just need that. Like, that's like most of their revenue, Call of Duty. So, yeah, they need it badly.
I think that these things take a lot of time, and you have to find the loopholes into everything and adjust that, because you had mentioned a topic that I think you should bring up later about a loophole in a deal that was made with PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
So, these deals take time.
Yeah.
And
$70 billion.
yeah, it's a lot of money. I'd say it's a bit of money.
A little bit of cash. Drop in the bucket, some would say.
Loosen up, guys.
This is
Let's
a
finish
penny.
this up.
You're a pretty
Let's finish
penny.
this fight.
Yeah, it's
So
That's
they're
wild.
making this game, and it's
Physical.
It's just the physical version of it.
I think it was
Yeah.
online
Now,
for
it's
a reason.
impressive. No. Wait, what?
I think it was online for a reason.
I just don't know why anybody would want to play Doom on the Switch.
I know, it's kind of stupid. It's a
like
collector's
at
piece,
30
meaning that,
frames.
imagine, it's like having a game that was not meant to come out, but it came out somehow. It's like a mystery. You get to tell your
Limited
kids later, like,
copies.
hey, you know this game wasn't meant to come out, right? And it's like, it's Doom Eternal. I have it on Xbox. It's like, but no, Nintendo owners did not have the right to this game.
I do have a question. Is this going to be
They
limited?
did have. They played in digital.
Of course, so I was physically.
They didn't have the right to the box.
Will they give me my box?
They could have just bought an Xbox box. You know what I'm saying? If they just want to have a physical copy of
we
the
want
game.
the real box for it. Question: is this going to be limited, like Super Mario All Stars when it released for
Limited Run Games has this thing.
Because that game's still out.
Oh my god, you can go to.
It's so
It's on Best Buy right
annoying.
now as of recording.
So they lied.
No, they didn't.
Essentially.
No, they didn't lie. They stopped producing them after.
Just
like-
nobody bought it.
Well, they made
Is
so
it,
many.
right?
They made so many copies.
You
It's
can't
ridiculous.
call it limited, and then you made so many copies that years later the game is still
Made
out.
no copies for
A
2 per
lifetime.
person in this world.
And that's the
That's
limit.
it.
Guys,
That's it.
don't get anything else.
Yeah,
All the people born in 2044
We'll get a copy of
will
this.
still probably
Brand
be
new.
able to buy it.
Yes.
This isn't like Metroid Prime chills. You were like, you missed out, buddy, or something like that. But like they meant to, not really. They did. But I don't know. I remember there was a YouTuber I watch who was like, I bought the game digitally and 2 physical copies because it was still at that point where people were scalping them. People thought it was gonna be the rarest thing since sliced bread. And I thought so too. I genuinely did.
Yes, I know.
I freaked
remember.
out
You did.
so bad. I need this game.
Yes, the urgency effect kicks in.
And
Just like that. That's it.
And just like that was the end of the topic. Next one, please.
fair enough. All right. So, are you guys ready for some cool controllers?
Oh, yes.
The Split Pad Fit officially confirmed for Nintendo Switch. These are a set of Joy-Cons officially manufactured by Hori and licensed by Nintendo that include a comfortable grip and a new back button. These Joy-Cons are currently only available as of recording to purchase from Japan through Play Asia as of the time.
So it's not real.
It is!
No, they're Hori's making them.
The license.
Yeah, they're licensed to make all of them.
Exactly. But they're like new Joy-Cons that actually look like they work.
These other ones work fine.
They break so easy. I remember experienced Joy-Con drift.
Not on those.
Mario Kart is a nightmare to play with Joy-Con drift.
Any game will be a nightmare to play with Joy-Con grip. I'm not talking about the regular Joy-Cons. I'm talking about the big ones.
The bulky ones. The
Split Pad Pro, I think it's called. Yeah.
Yes. They're
It sounds like
literally
the same.
doing the same thing. There's literally nothing special about this.
No, it feels like a normal
So-
Joy-Con, but it's better.
So they just made them
well,
smaller.
a little stronger. Yes, because the bigger ones they're
Are more
stronger,
comfortable.
Obviously.
Thank
but,
you, Her. You backed me up there.
But,
Yeah.
what?
I mean, do you have
Joy-Cons
personal
do
investment in
break.
this?
Yes, I do.
Are you gonna be?
My money's on the line.
You gotta hook up in Japan where you're selling these on the black market.
Konnichiwa. Split Pad Pro.
Listen, so the Joy-Cons do break easily. I don't know if these are any better. I don't know. I'm not picking them up. I'm good. Thank you. I thought they were made by Nintendo and
Yeah,
that they were
exactly.
gonna switch up the game.
If Nintendo didn't make it, then they didn't do anything new. That's like when PlayStation has said, Scuff is officially licensed to make that PlayStation controller, but it's still not PlayStation. And you know how you know that it was not PlayStation? Because PlayStation just announced their own actual Pro controller.
What
It's
the
trash.
$200?
Yeah, exactly. They made their own one, right?
Yes.
So if they believe that nonsense, they wouldn't be coming out with their own stuff, which is the same
Yeah,
thing
you're
here.
probably right.
Nintendo didn't pull the trigger on a new Joy-Con. They, again, just let somebody else do it.
Yeah.
They raised their gun to the sky.
Yeah.
And then they
And it still got shot.
They something fell from the sky, and I was like, oh my god, it's a Joy-Con! What do we do now? Yeah. Okay. So, let's move on to the next topic.
So what do we think, real quick, what do we think of that new, because PlayStation is releasing a new controller.
They are, and it looks trash. I'm still gonna get it.
Oh, the DualSense Edge? Yeah.
It looks essentially kind of the same as their regular controllers.
Because
That's
they
just,
waited for them
um,
to do it, and then they decided to
They
copy
just
them.
pay more money.
That's it.
I do have to say I was expecting something more like the Xbox Elite controllers.
Yeah,
Oh my
something that
gosh,
looked
when
better.
you see those, you're like, oh, okay, so
Yeah, they're the
That's
best thing,
worth
the
the
best
money,
controllers
that's
ever
definitely-
created.
that's different than
Even better than the GameCube controller?
controller.
Yeah, that's considered the holy grail. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's because you grew up with it, but yeah, usually that's what happens.
What?
I'm sorry, the GameCube controller, usually it's considered the most comfortable controller. Which it is comfortable, but I don't know about the most
Comfortable,
How
but it's
you-
not functional. Big button in the middle, these little buttons
have
on the
to get- yeah.
sides.
I mean, I
It's
A
weird.
lot
guess.
of traveling with
Yeah, it's like,
I mean, I guess.
Your
Like
thumb will
when you
I
work
mean,
out.
that means that if you're someone who doesn't know the buttons, that's pretty good because you can just feel the button. Like, oh, this is A because it's huge. This is B because it's tiny.
Yeah, because that's how we play games. I don't need to press it. I need to feel it. Am I supposed to jump here? No. I don't know which button. Let me feel.
Wait, let me look down.
All right, I'm gonna
manual?
jump. Oh no, I'm dead.
I need
because
my manual.
didn't jump in time. Am I supposed to shoot here? Wait, I gotta feel the button.
Let me see the size of this one. That doesn't feel right to me.
Oh
That's funny.
god.
All right. So
All right.
let's check this bad boy out.
Let's
so, a brand new physical 3DS game in 2022, Kokopolo 3D, is officially listed on the Limited Run Games website, and all orders, what? What? Oh, I'm sorry, I got
It's
jumped.
a,
such a bad
listen,
Can we
listen,
stop
sorry.
it real quick?
listen. Hold on, no, I want this to be recorded. So
No.
the world is telling you
I
that
can say it right.
limited run games need to be left alone.
No, this is
Nobody cares that a once digital release is physical, or
No, it's not it.
or a 3DS game is being
No.
made in limited.
I'm about
run
to be
games.
the gimmick because this game
Didn't they
is
stop
the
making
final.
3DSs?
Yes, but there's still some games like PS2. It kept going for like 14 years.
Okay.
But no, this is I'm trying to get to the actual point of this topic. It's
Ooh.
not limited run. It's about that this game could be the final physical 3DS game ever, as Nintendo has already closed submissions for brand new 3DS and Wii U titles.
I have a question.
Now here's the thing: the final game of any console always goes up in value. So this is an interesting one to keep your eye on.
All right.
What's the name of this game? What's the name?
It's called what's it called? Kokopolo 3D.
And you
What
thought
kind of game is it?
that this was
I don't know.
gonna be
That's
the banger of a topic.
No, it's because it's a final 3DS game. That's the topic.
the topic. Okay, so it is the final 3DS game,
Oh.
potentially
Oh.
because it is
Oh.
the final 3DS
No, it
game.
makes me a bit sad.
Potentially.
I remember the 3DS. when I was
Potentially,
smaller,
it
so,
could.
Potential. It's not even the final. It's potential as the final.
The moment that you stop playing the 3DS, that was the last game to ever come to 3DS for you.
Well,
Okay?
well, yeah.
Nobody cares anything further than that.
Well,
Well, let me
this
ask
is
you.
the
Let me ask you this:
problem.
would they release the new sealed Xbox 360 physical copy of the
Could care
game?
less.
Are you
Not a
serious?
moment of my life would be spent on wondering what was the final. I don't know which
No,
one
no, no.
was the final right now.
If Microsoft's like, "Hey guys, we're announcing the true final Xbox 360 game," and it's like Halo Part 7 or some stupid issue.
Well, that's a.
It's like
I
coming
think
today.
it's happening to
Obviously.
every Xbox.
Yeah,
so-
obviously that wouldn't be happening.
But let me ask you a question.
Game Pass.
When is this game
It
supposed
is
to come
going
out?
to Game Pass.
When is
No,
this
no, did
released?
confirm, but most likely 2023,
And when did they stop making the 3DSs?
2020.
2020. That's really far apart, and like a lot of these 3DSs die.
There's been a couple of games. I think there's like 2 others that came out, like Fragrance Store, and I think it was Angel Duno's 2.
Yeah, but since
But-
we didn't know that this was coming out, right? Because nobody knew about this. Why wasn't it a big deal that the other 2 games came out?
Because those weren't the final games.
But you didn't know that.
But you said this was potentially.
I don't know. Everyone thought Angel Dunos was it, but I don't know. It's not a
Okay.
mainstream topic. It's alright. Let's just move on from it.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
Sounds good.
It's all
So we'll
pretend
get-
that happened.
so we'll-
Slap. Sounds like a
Sounds
plan.
like a plan, baby.
Just give him a little bit of a slap. Okay. So here's the next topic. Spider-Man: No Way Home is being re-released in theaters, but the More Fun Stuff edition, I swear to God, is what it's called. And basically, it's a souped-up version of the original movie with extra scenes and content.
So who's the suckers that are gonna go to the movie to watch the same footage that they probably had in the
special features.
special
of the-
features?
Not me. But I don't know. I love the movie when it came out. But I don't know if I'd go out just to see an extra scene or 2. I don't know. But yeah. I mean, they're promoting Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield now because everyone knows they're in it. It's not secret anymore. So yeah. That's neat for people who didn't know or who are,
When is it coming back out?
September.
Okay.
What's
You
that
don't
for?
know.
2nd. September 2nd.
September 2nd.
Yep, September 2nd.
All right. Well, if you're interested, get your tickets now, right?
Oh yes, and Spider-Man: No Way Home and Venom: Let There Be Carnage steelbooks are up for pre-order for a limited time.
So at least I
Okay.
know on
What was
September 2nd, I will not be thinking about Spider-Man coming to theaters.
Sounds great.
Though,
So the Steelbook was released it's up for pre-order on Amazon, correct?
Correct.
And Walmart as well.
Correct.
Now the Steelbook for these movies were Best Buy exclusive, right? And they sold out, and you can't find it at Best Buy.
Accurate.
And now they're re-releasing limited
weren't
stock.
the other ones limited?
That's what I'm saying. Isn't that kind of like
It's reruns.
Yes, but it's not right for the people who had that rush to go and get their copy and got one, right?
But I mean,
And now it's like being re-released.
It's called false advertising.
Correct.
Yeah.
well, it was for a limited time. They didn't say this is the thing. I mean, it says for a limited time again. Very limited time or so much. I don't know. I think that, sometimes a movie gets new fans, and then, when those new fans come in, they're like, well, where's the Venom Steelbook? Then they're like, oh, here it is, my good sir. You can't
Yes,
blame
but
them.
you can't call it limited if you're doing another limited run and another limited run and another limited run. So it's limited for now, because that's false
Somebody
advertising.
needs to learn the definition of limited.
It has to stop somewhere. You can't
It
re-release
needs
the
to
limited.
stop.
I
Okay.
mean, it's good for those that didn't get the movie, because a lot of people will buy it and resell it on eBay, right?
But
Oh,
here's
for sure.
the
Um,
point.
Yes.
Life's not fair. So yeah, next topic.
All right. Next up on the bucket list, Dunkin' Donuts Pumpkin 2022. Yeah, it's a little late, but on August 17th or 18th, I don't remember which day it was.
17.
Yeah, 17th.
Wednesday.
Dunkin' Donuts unleashed their fall menu to the world. So,
Except that
question.
it actually came out earlier in some places.
Yes,
probably.
they did an early release.
It's the stealth release.
Yes. So, pumpkin, baby. Pumpkin is my thing.
It's back.
Yes. So they had the pumpkin muffins, the lattes, the iced coffees, the donuts, the munchkins, everything.
Big muffins.
The muffins.
They brought
are
back the
delicious.
maple bacon sandwiches.
Yes.
I feel like they have kind of they came out again. It's always really exciting when they come out, but I noticed that it does matter where you get it,
Yeah.
which Dunkin' like you go to, because I've gone to some Dunkin' Donuts that are just like not up to snuff.
Yes.
Not up to snuff. Like I feel like they've changed.
Yeah.
Maybe they've changed the formula for their pumpkin ice signature latte, which normally is amazing and we love it.
It's not the best this year.
Yeah, I feel like they've
It's okay.
done something to it that just makes it not as delicious. Like you have to ask for more pumpkin or something to kind of get that flavor back.
Mm-hmm.
Like they diluted the flavor or something. Like they had the flavor and they threw a bunch of ice in it and said, let's let it dilute a little
Let's
bit.
give you half the pumpkin experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully Starbucks won't let us down. 2 days till Starbucks as of the time of recording. So, yeah. That's pretty good. Maybe they won't let us down with their coffee.
So on August 30th,
Yes.
that's
Starbucks.
Starbucks gets in the run for the pumpkin.
Yeah, pumpkin bread, pumpkin
Yeah.
muffins. They got pretty decent treats for pumpkin.
Mm-hmm. Now, I think the biggest thing for me is that as soon as that pumpkin menu releases, it kind of feels that warm fall.
Like fall's
Yeah.
coming.
Yes. So summer, all cool and everything, but there's nothing like the fall, knowing that Thanksgiving, Christmas, and all these warm holidays are coming. And pumpkin is essentially the symbol of it. Go pumpkin picking, those nice, delicious lattes
Pumpkin
and
eggnog.
pumpkin eggnog.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
That's
Oh.
funny.
That's the only eggnog I will drink.
Yes.
I like golden eggnog as well, like the classic eggnog for the holidays, Christmas time.
Some whipped cream on top. Delicious.
Yeah, I
So-
think you know what? It's that's actually what it means.
Yes,
Because
that's the key.
that's the thing. When you start seeing the pumpkin stuff out, it's like, yep, we made it through. We made it through summer. We're getting into the fall. We're getting into the comfy time.
that
good.
nice sweater
Sweater
on
time.
top of your outfit. Yes,
Oh yeah.
cozy.
Yeah.
So,
I love that thing. So, how do you feel about the world transitioning to autumn?
I'm excited for it.
What do you feel about the world transitioning to Yeah, so I am ultimately more excited about what pumpkin coming to Dunkin means, which that fall time, yep, I'm all about it.
Yes. Now, pumpkin picking, apple picking, all these fun things, making applesauce, all this stuff is so cool.
Absolutely.
I will say, like, if you walk into certain stores, you already see all the Halloween, all the fall stuff. I walked into a Michael's and it was all set up for autumn, and I got so excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say that Halloween is coming. Anybody planning to dress up for Halloween?
Oh, I am.
Yes. Okay.
A design between Mandalorian and Michael Myers.
Ooh,
Spicy.
Mm.
Mandalorian. That's pretty cool.
Mandalorian is fire.
Yeah. There's a new season coming? Right?
Yes, next year, February of next year. I don't know. Mandalorian is still the best Disney Plus show. Fuck
No.
you. So,
I am the Mandalorian.
I don't know. Disney
No,
Plus.
Zombies 3.
Oh my god. Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Now that is grade A
There we
film.
go.
They went too far.
They went too far.
Did you watch it?
No.
Oh,
what?
it's aliens
It's
now.
aliens.
So,
Oh, so zombies.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's dope.
Bring it on.
Then
Aliens.
werewolves,
Too
then
far.
aliens.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
first zombie-
aliens are what?
the first Zombies was zombies. Zombies 2 was werewolves now coming in. And Zombies 3 is aliens from space now.
Did
Why
we
can't
watch
go part
Zombies
4?
2?
No,
No.
you gotta stop.
How do we
After
know?
it
These
started.
might be amazing.
Okay.
No.
What if they have a zombie werewolf
Did
love
you ever
interest?
I'm
watch
sure
it?
they do. I'm sure that's the whole point. And the
Maybe
whole
then
plot.
in part 3,
It's an
zombie
alien. Yes.
werewolf alien triangle love affair.
Ooh.
What?
All right.
God.
It's
So,
a Disney
So it's a
character.
woman zombie, a dude werewolf, and the alien is non-binary.
It's Catherine, but with zombies.
are-
Just saying, never know.
so maybe
My
the
God.
zombie and the werewolf had an alien baby.
That's what happened.
Plot twist.
Plot twist.
There
The
it
cross-
is.
I'm feeling good. Are they the same actors?
Yeah,
Yes.
they're all back.
So what do you sign up for
Nah.
if it comes to Disney Plus, zombies or the Mandalorian? Oh my gosh.
Oh no!
I think
What
we
you
need to
watch?
watch Zombies 2 ASAP.
No.
I think they need to bring
No,
zombies into
no,
it.
no.
This is what I say.
No, no, no.
Just kidding.
Next
It's a joke,
podcast,
it's a joke,
next
guys.
podcast,
Nope.
we have to have the topic of Zombies 2
Nope.
and Zombies 3.
No, oh my no.
Right?
Not happening.
Okay.
Is it a movie?
Yes,
Yeah,
it is a movie.
movies.
See? We can bang that
Nope.
out.
And I'm pretty sure Zombies.
One,
I
two,
will not go through that torture.
And Zombies 3 is getting more of a
Nah.
budget because it's not Disney Channel movie, it's Disney Plus movie.
Oh man.
Ooh.
You see?
I mean,
High
yeah, I don't know.
quality.
I mean, the last really good Disney Channel trilogy was High School Musical, and the third one got theater budget. Like it went to theaters and it was huge. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe could the third one could stick the
He
landing?
knows what's going on.
Yes.
Yeah, him.
He is excited. That's right.
That's right.
So-
Ecstatic.
The main purpose of this discussion about Dunkin' Donuts is understanding that we should watch Zombies 2 and 3.
I agree.
Damn this topic.
All right. So,
I think that's yours.
I have a topic that I wanted to talk about.
Let's go.
And
Wang.
it is
It's
it is delicious.
Yes.
It is delicious.
That's him
You're
for ya.
correct. It is
Delicious
delicious.
topic.
So
Let's hear it.
it's just a fun little bit here, but
It's
so-
delicious. Don't say
it is
little
delicious.
bits.
Oh, you're right.
Delicious.
It's a delicious bit. It's a
Yes.
delicious bit. And the so basically, PlayStation did a deal with Hideo Kojima, which is a famous video
he
game
created Metal Gear
director.
Solid. And
Yeah, he made
Silent
Metal
Hills.
Gear Solid,
Hill.
Silent Hill. So basically, when Hideo Kojima left Konami, he made a deal with PlayStation to make a game for them. So in that deal, PlayStation owns the right to the game on console.
Okay.
Okay. So he made the game Death Stranding. Good game. Came out well received. People made fun of it because it's like a walking simulator. Like you're basically a postman, like a office, not an office, like a post, like a mail deliverer.
Yeah, I
right?
heard it's like it has one of the worst mansion gimmicks in history or something like that. It's like you have to balance them on your back.
Yeah, but it's pretty. I mean, it's a beautiful game. But the idea is that we went ahead and the game came out. Everything was good. Then it came to PC. Okay, when it went to PC, we found out that PlayStation doesn't have the rights to publish it on PC. So they made a deal with a publisher, 505 Games, to bring it to PC. So the game is exclusive to PlayStation on console, and then it's available on PC. Well, a beautiful turn of events took place where 505 Games and Microsoft, so Xbox, made a deal to bring Death Stranding, which is the game that we're talking
I know
about,
that.
to PC Game Pass.
Yeah.
So if you have
Game Pass subscription.
a Game Pass Ultimate subscription or a PC Game Pass subscription, you get Death Stranding for free. Now you can't play it on an Xbox, but Xbox players who have it for PC is also there. And what this does is allows Microsoft or Xbox to promote Death Stranding on their service because it's on Game Pass for PC. So it's just a funny loophole.
Talk about a plot twist.
Because it seems like PlayStation was spending all this money. Like there was a whole thing that came out, some court documents that Microsoft actually publicly said that they're doing, which is PlayStation is paying companies to not bring their games to Game Pass. Like they're actively not doing it. Yeah, that's another topic. We're gonna roll right into that topic because that's a funny thing. But that came out that they're actually doing that. So the joke is that they're paying all the people to keep their games off of Game Pass except for their own games because Death Stranding is on PC Game Pass.
So PlayStation exclusive and they found its way into Xbox.
Exactly.
Loopholes, baby.
That's
this
right.
is why you have to make sure you take the time to look into whatever can come up from these.
Well, the hard part, like MLB The Show, is also a game that PlayStation makes, but that's on Xbox Game Pass
and Nintendo Switch.
So, but the key here is that for these deals, PlayStation only had the console rights to it. On the MLB's MLB, so they don't own MLB. MLB's a national, obviously, company. So, but MLB took back the rights to publish the game elsewhere. So they forced PlayStation to make their game for other places, or they were going to lose the rights to make the game. So since they basically have a studio, San Diego studio, that literally all they do is make this baseball game. If they lost the right to the baseball games, they basically have to shut down the studio or have them do something that they don't know how to do. So, so the point is, this loophole, because PlayStation.
I don't think PlayStation saw this coming.
No, they didn't. Because at the time when they made the deal, I don't think they thought that they would even consider doing that, but they did. And now you have PC Game Pass having Death Stranding, which is pretty cool. And I mean, number one, you can play it with an Xbox controller, right? Which you could have always done on the PC version anyway. But there's Xbox achievements.
Ooh. So it locks you into the achievements.
So on Xbox, you'll see that you got the achievements for Death Stranding. So
that's pretty cool.
That's super dope. Super dope. So, but piggying back now to that, finding out that they've been doing this, right, paying other companies. So that's a whole nother thing's happening. So we were talking about Activision Blizzard deal, right? So that $70 billion deal. So right now, they're in a phase where all the different countries have to approve the deal.
Okay.
Right? Because Microsoft sells their games in all these countries, and Activision sells their games in all these countries. the countries that they sell the games in have to approve the merger.
Okay.
Okay, so all the countries, this is all normally very secretive, right? Like you don't know what's going on behind the scenes unless they give us updates. But in Brazil, their policy is they make any of these things public. So basically, the government asks a bunch of questions to different companies who may be affected by this. So they ask
that's
EA,
good.
they ask Ubisoft, they ask all the other major, Take-Two, all the other major publishers, like how do they feel about Microsoft buying Activision, right? And they also ask Nintendo and they ask Sony, okay?
So they're taking everything into consideration, how it may affect every other seller.
Exactly. So they asked everybody,
Oh
and every single company said, this is no big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they have Call of Duty, but we made Rainbow Six, which is huge. You know, like all the other companies are like, you know, we have big games. Everything is great. I mean, they don't Call of Duty has plenty of competition. You know what I'm saying?
They do.
Yeah, they do. So that's no big deal, right? So everybody said that, and then you go to Sony, right? So Sony literally started writing in their statement that Call of Duty is an unstoppable force. That no matter what we do, we would never be able to make a game to compete with Call of Duty. They have like some of the
They make
best.
so much money off it.
But they have.
there's
But that doesn't
plenty
matter.
of games
The point
that-
is that they have their own studios that are supposedly amazing, right? Naughty Dog,
But no one can
can
make
Last
a
of
game
Us,
like
Gorilla, Horizon. They have
Japan
all these
studio,
they
God
have
of War.
all these.
I
that's
think-
Sony Santa Monica.
So that's what I meant.
This
to
is
say.
what I would say real quick. If you're paying $70 billion for a company, you should own something special, right? It can't be like you can't argue this with that. Like where's your $70 million to buy off the company? If you could or you wanted to, you would do it.
So, but they're using that. Obviously, Microsoft buying a lot more than Call of Duty, right? There's a whole bunch of other studios, a whole bunch of other important IPs, but that's their focus. So they talk about like basically they're throwing their own studios under the bus. They're basically saying like, yeah, our studios cannot do this. Like no matter how much money we throw at this, our guys can't make crap to compete, right? So that's a slap in the face, right? Like imagine your owner saying like,
we don't want you.
These guys cannot do what you guys do, right?
Yeah.
So they're saying all that stuff, right? They're talking about how no one could compete, how damaging it would be to their business and all this stuff if they didn't have Call of Duty. First of all, Microsoft already said they're keeping Call of Duty on PlayStation because it doesn't make any financial sense. Well, for now, they just say Call of Duty in general. It doesn't make any financial sense to not do it. But then, this is the thing, right? So they start talking about that and how amazing Call of Duty is. Nobody can replicate it, right? Even though every other company's like,
we could do.
We have competition for Call of Duty completely.
Even if they didn't, listen, it's nice that they're taking into consideration what other companies feel, but this is their deal. They're putting out the money. They're willing to sell. That has nothing to do with anybody else.
So people are
The fact
afraid of
that they're
Microsoft
considering-
monopolizing.
The whole point of this is that they want to make sure that this deal, because they
It's
don't
not
follow
gonna crush
video
other
games.
companies.
They
Yes.
want to make sure that this deal
They're gonna
doesn't
crush your little guys.
mean that there's going to be a problem in the industry going forward, which definitely not, right? But aside from that, so they go and they talk all this crap about that, but then they start talking about Game Pass, right? And how Game Pass is so far ahead that they have so much of the market share that they're essentially untouchable. You can't catch up to them. You can't do all this
But
stuff.
that's not their fault. You can't blame anyone for being great. You can't hold that against them. This is the thing. This is the world we live in. You can't shine without.
Basically, Sony is basically just like, listen, sir, don't trust these guys. They're nuts.
Yeah,
They'll
they're
snap."
trying to. They just want to stop this from happening because obviously it's going to be a humongous blow to them when Call of Duty's in Game Pass, right? So basically, they're trying to say Game Pass is already a monster.
When they throw that in,
When they put the other games in there, it's over, right? Now, this is the thing. They don't mention that they have their own subscription service to compete now with that. They don't bring up how they have all these exclusives that they're paying to keep off of Xbox. So many games that they literally pay to just keep every Final Fantasy release after 15,
PlayStation.
16, the remake of 7, and Final Fantasy 14, all only on PlayStation, right? They got Genshin Impact. They have a whole bunch of stuff, plus their own exclusives, right? But they're literally paying. So Microsoft, so normally everybody thinks Microsoft is kumbaya, right?
Yes.
Everybody says, they are pushovers. They let Sony do it.
Because
They
they listen to
pushovers.
the
Fans.
fans. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they went ahead and they wrote back to Brazil about
You got my
Sony.
attention.
So they basically called them frauds. Like, that they're so full of crap. They don't mention anything that they do about exclusives, right? They're not talking. So they're saying this very thing they're complaining about is exactly what they do, and they've been doing it
For a very
forever.
long time.
Like literally naming games that they are keeping off of Xbox purposely, right? Like, you know exactly what they're doing. They know what they're doing. But they're acting as if they don't have any exclusive games that can compete with Call of Duty, except one of the most anticipated games coming out this year is God of War Ragnarok. They have The Last of Us Part 1 remake that's coming out.
Marvel Spider-Man 2.
They have Spider-Man. So basically, they just went in
They're liars
on calling them out, calling them frauds. What they're actually afraid of is some competition.
Yes.
What they're afraid of is having somebody who's actually coming to compete with them. And then as far as the Game Pass, they also fail to mention that they have their own streaming competing service that they're doing. And Plus and Premium and Extra. So there's 3 tiers now.
I'm very proud of the way that Xbox has been coming into all this stuff. I feel like they've been for a while ahead of their time.
They were.
And
they finally caught up.
They've been shut down by the fans essentially, and they bring it right back. They listen. They are very much so about the people that keep them going, which is good to see. What I feel is that PlayStation is not like that. PlayStation is very selfish. PlayStation is very much so about themselves, and they don't care essentially if their fans get ran over in the mess. It's true.
It's true, I know.
It's true. They're
literally raising the price of the console.
Yes, they boost up the prices. They take
The
advantage
game's
of their power.
$70 instead of $60.
And their streaming services, first of all, like when they put games in there, they're crap games, which is what I thought what Xbox was going to do. Xbox is putting out all kinds of games in there. Games that have just came out. They just throw them in there for their fans to enjoy. They're not taking essentially, in my opinion, the little bit of money that they're charging and saying, here, you're going to play all these old games or all these nameless games.
They just released a trailer for that. The seven new games from Humble Games Publishing is they're coming straight day one into Game Pass.
Coming to Game Pass. Yeah, I don't know.
Coming to Game Pass.
I don't know. PlayStation, like, in 2022, they're like, Infamous Son, get your Infamous Son here. Second Son or whatever.
Yeah. It's wild that we actually got to see this because it exposes. Again, they literally told them, like, you're paying to keep games off our platform. They're actively trying to stop the growth of Game Pass by telling people that they cannot release their game into Game Pass.
Literally.
So just making a deal just for that. So like, all right, you're a third party, but you're not allowed to put their game. You're bringing your game here, you can't put it into Game Pass. You can sell it on Xbox, but you can't put it in the game. Like, that's wild.
That's so
that they're so afraid.
They came in, they saw this happening, they saw an opportunity to go and throw a pity party, right? Talk about daddy issues with their own companies now that they've been throwing them under the bus, saying these guys can't do shit,
You don't want
essentially. And that's gonna be its own issue. But just they came out throwing the pity party, seeing a place where they can have an opportunity to be heard and manipulate the narrative, and they thought that Xbox wasn't gonna come out and handle their own.
Oh yeah.
Which they did. Good for them.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than you trying to keep things neat and discreetly and professional, and there's like somebody just taking jabs and trying
like
to
a low
find
life.
trying to find a sneaky way to get you and play victim. So good.
Yeah, they just want to
Let it all out.
Just got the Xbox is not being a wussy about it. They basically have Master Chief come out and they're like, stay out of this. Like, you know, it's like, hey,
and listen,
chill out. Basically.
sometimes what they've done, and I can appreciate it, is that they keep about the games and about the fans. They've taken the high road, right? But you can only take that for so long until you say, okay, well, you know what? You want to keep going. You're trying to mess with this for no reason. When you run around doing the same thing, here you go.
Yeah.
I'm fighting back.
Yeah, and the funny
As they
thing
should.
is that the approval, what they're looking for, is whether any of this will damage the customers. That's the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
How does it burn the people? Like, is Microsoft going to take Call of Duty away from all the players?
That's the
that play
concern that they have,
PlayStation?
and that's why they're bringing in all the other companies. But as we saw, Xbox, they built Minecraft,
Yep.
right? And what did they do with
They
that?
took it more places.
They made it even more interactive.
Yep.
They made it for the gamers.
They literally said that they're going to bring Call of Duty to Switch once they
What?
own it.
See?
They already
This
said
is
that?
what I'm talking
Wow,
about.
congratulations.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yes.
So the debate people have right now of Call of Duty, so aside from that, just in general, like the people's idea. So Xbox keeps saying things like, we want to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. We want to bring it to Switch. The idea people keep like wrestling with themselves is, do they mean that they're gonna every new PlayStation game, every new Call of Duty game that comes out, the whole game is gonna go to these places, or are they only gonna keep Warzone there? Because remember, Call of Duty has a free, just like Fortnite, they have a free to play Call of Duty Warzone map that anybody can play free, and that's on PlayStation and Xbox and PC, right? So are they just going to keep that at PlayStation? Because technically, when they said we want to keep
Yes.
Call of Duty on PlayStation, it could mean that. Or does it mean that when they release every game, that they're going to split single player and multiplayer and put the multiplayer everywhere so that the
So
people who are
everyone can play
hardcore can still
together.
play it,
That's-
but they still have a reason why you should get it on Xbox because the single player is only on Xbox
fair.
and it's in Game Pass.
Or they
So
might want to
fair.
throw it, exactly, they might want to throw it into Game
Well,
Pass.
it's always
for
going to be in
everybody
Game
who-
Pass.
Exactly, so
So it's just whether or not they're gonna. So people are like, the fanboys of Xbox still want there to be some type of exclusive nature to it. Because I mean, Call of Duty in the beginning started out really strong with the stories. Remember Call of Duty
Yeah.
2?
Yes.
We loved it,
oh my
right?
gosh, yeah.
We played the heck out of it, right? And
Modern
then
Warfare was
over-
nominated for Game of the Year.
Yeah,
a bunch.
over time, it kind of, after the original Modern Warfares, it kind of fell off a little bit. Then Black Ops came out. It was okay. It was good. Like, that has a huge following. But there was like when Xbox One first came out and PlayStation 4,
Yeah.
they had Ghost, which was horrible. Then they had Infinite.
No, that was Advanced War.
There was Advanced and then there was Infinite. Infinite was really, really good. That was so good, but people gave it crap.
Right?
But it was so good. It was like almost like a Mass Effect. Like they almost turned into an RPG. It was in space. It was so good. Infinite was amazing.
Wow.
But people don't give it respect. So it kind of fell off. But now they're in like this renaissance because you got 2019 Modern Warfare. They did a new Modern Warfare, not a remake,
Yeah, I remember.
just a reboot.
Mm-hmm.
So same name, different game, but same feeling. That was amazing. The single player was so good, so good. And then they came out with
Black Ops Cold War.
Cold War, which was also really, really good. You beat that one, right?
Yeah, I did beat it.
Yeah, I beat it too. That was really good. I enjoyed that. And then what's the
Vanguard.
Vanguard? I beat it. It was very good. Very, very good. That one gets dogged on a lot. But
I mean,
it
you
was
don't hear
really,
anything
really
about
good.
it. I heard nothing.
Well,
about
you know why? This is the problem. The same exact time that game came out, that's when Activision had all the hashtag Me Too issues with the treating the employees bad. Literally at the same exact time. Like there was people who worked on that game who were so frustrated and pissed online because like we just made this amazing game and nobody cares because of everything that's going on at Activision right now. Like nobody even looked at it. And the people who did were dogging on it, but they were dogging on it because of the influence of what's happening right now.
Fair.
So it's kind of like this crappy company released this crappy game and blah, blah, blah. So they got dogged on.
They got chained in.
Yeah, but the multiplayer is fun. I beat the single player. That was really good. It was a good story. Graphically, it was beautiful. Such a good game. But they're still in this renaissance where they are, like, people are like Modern Warfare 2 is coming out this year. And people are losing their mind. I'm on trailer blackout. I don't even want to see it. I mean, I'm not going to buy it because I know
Game
if
Pass.
they're going to
It's
own it,
Game
it's going to
Pass,
come
yes.
into Game Pass. So I'm just going to...
Wait out the store.
Just wait.
Inherit it.
Yeah, I'll just inherit it in the future.
Call of Duty's not right.
I mean, I played Vanguard like a year later, so it doesn't matter to me. But yeah, it is valuable. So if Xbox did say, "Hey, we're gonna keep the single player game on Xbox only and put it in the Game Pass," that would be a good.
What I would say is that Xbox paying for this has the right to figure out what works for them. And I don't think that there should be a huge concern considering the way that they have used their power. Microsoft is a very big company, okay? A lot of money, obviously. And every time they're making the game is almost like a passion, it seems like a for the gamers. That's the idea that I get. When it comes to Call of Duty has to be one of the most evolved games, most adaptive games that I've ever seen. I remember seeing the original, the first Call of Duty, remember very old school, and then evolving from what it is, from that to what it is now. It's insane. And watching the evolution of the games that they have made and put out. They have, you go back to games like Ghost Recon, and they've kind of followed the same pattern of the original game. This game has evolved over time, insanely. And there's a reason why it's such a big game. So, you know.
What were you saying, sir?
Isn't Ghost Recon like a Tom Clancy game?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. She's comparing it to.
Oh, you're comparing. I thought you called Call of Duty Ghost Recon. Okay.
No. I'm saying how it's kept its same pattern. Most games keep the same type of style.
It's funny because Ghost Recon, if you remember, did evolve. Remember Advanced Warfighter?
I believe
on
like the third one,
360,
right?
We really liked it, like a lot.
But then that's as far as it kind of went.
Well, they lost their ways recently. They came out with Wildlands, which was a big hit, but it wasn't like a great game, I would say. But it was a big hit. Like a lot of people played it. Then they came out with Breakpoint, which
I heard that was trash.
I beat it. I enjoyed it, but the world didn't. You know, the world thought it was.
Just Cause. Remember when that came out? How many did they make of
Four.
those?
Just Cause.
There's four of them.
There's four.
Yes,
of them now.
remember where the like back in the day when it first and he jumped out of the plane
Yep,
with the parachute. It's like,
Yep.
but they don't. You think of games like that, and then you think of the evolution of Call of Duty, and it's just unparalleled.
Yeah. Well, they have such a dope structure where they have 3 different studios working on it on a 3-year cycle. Even though now, next year is going to be the first year that there's no Call of Duty. They're taking
Because
a break.
of what's going on right now, and I believe that that's good. They're gonna take a break, and then they're gonna come back the year after, and knock it out the park.
Yep.
This all just has to be settled out, and I think it's gonna
It's going to get approved.
And it's going to be fine.
It's going to get approved because it's what's good for the industry. Because Activision, they have so many studios, and they make all their studios make Call of Duty, like help with it, right? So they have 3 main studios that run it, and then there's all their studios are helper studios. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
So that's the thing. They have a good like strategy around it. So each game is different. One might not be as good as the other one, but at least it's different, and they're competing with each other. Like they each want to be the top tier Call of Duty studio.
Yes.
So they keep fighting for that.
It's friendly competition.
They're working towards that. But
it's a team that's working together and pushing each other, right?
Yep.
So I mean, what else can you ask for? That's a great way to keep them going and motivated, right?
And Activision was literally on their way down with this whole thing. That whole thing with the #MeToo stuff, that like really blew up. Like it really messed up.
Listen, as it should have, but there's the thing about it is when you think of a moment like this and this stuff that happened, it's certain people in it those people cannot take a whole company down. Does that make any sense?
It does.
Like immense action it doesn't define the entire place.
Exactly. Just because one member of a company might be trash doesn't mean that everyone deserves to fall.
I think the big thing overall with this deal, and why I know that there's not going to be a problem with it going through, this huge $70 billion deal, is because at the end of the day, if they didn't acquire them or if they don't acquire them, Activision was on a spiral downwards, right? It's a downward spiral. It was just going to oblivion because of all the legal things that they were going through with the #MeToo and all the other stuff that was going on. So Xbox is already basically pledged that once that deal goes through, they are going to, all of Activision Blizzard King is going to report directly to Phil Spencer, which is the head of Xbox, and his team. So the leadership at Activision now is not going to be the ones calling the shots. They're going to follow what Phil and his team
They're going to clean the house.
They're going to clean the house. That's exactly what it is. So all the bad apples are going to be ejected, even if, I mean, I think most of them have been ejected already, but even still, they're going to do more to make sure that they have a good team to make sure that company is going to follow in the footsteps of all the other Microsoft teams that are going on, because they actually have a pretty good track record. They do have places here or there that they have little things with, but nothing major, right? So at the end of the day, it's what's good for the industry for Xbox to acquire Activision Blizzard.
For the fans of the Call of Duty games, this is the best thing that can happen. And for everybody in that.
For Blizzard and King and all that other stuff. Yeah, exactly. All right. So the next thing real quick that I want to talk about, which was, the only reason I want to talk about it is because I was so pleasantly surprised. I didn't think I would care about it, but now I really do. Which is the new Pinocchio movie that's coming to Disney Plus.
Oh.
Okay, so I originally was like, who cares? Why would I ever care about another Pinocchio movie?
That's how I'm feeling right now. So
I barely like the original.
Yeah.
Why would I care about this? But turns out, from what the trailer looks like, now maybe there's other stuff happening, but when I watched the trailer, it looks like it's almost like a beat for beat, follow of the original, but it's live action. So it's actual humans, right? Geppetto is played by Tom Hanks. He looks really good in there. He does really good. And they have obviously a cartoon-ish, it's a 3D, but it like blend in the world type of 3D of Pinocchio. And they have like, it's weird because he looks like more of a cartoon version of 3D, even though he's meant to look like he's part of the world. Okay. But then they also have like the other like animal characters. Jiminy Cricket, I don't remember.
No, I'm funny that he looks like him. He looks like a super detailed version of the cartoon. Like he has a big eye.
Yeah, the other characters are really realistic looking like realistic 3D, like almost like the Lion King, right?
Okay.
Like the wolf looks very detailed, and the other characters that are animals. But I think the reason that it excites me is because it almost now it's like when I remember watching the other one, it's so boring.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, oh my god. But with the music, the sound effects, everything that was in this trailer, it actually feels like a new movie. Like it feels like this is a new story. And the story of Pinocchio is pretty cool in theory when you look at it high level. It's just that the way it came out back in the day was so old, very low key, right? But it looks so good. The live action portion looks good. The animation looks really good. Yeah, I really am looking forward to it. Now, if I think the cherry on top is that it is coming day one on Disney Plus. So on September 8th, it's going to release right into Disney Plus.
Yes, this is nothing I will rush to the movies.
I wouldn't rush to the movies to see.
On Disney Plus,
exactly.
I'll be like, oh,
it's like, okay, on September 8th, I know what I'm going to watch, right?
Yes.
So it just looks really good. Overall, I'm pretty excited for it. I think it's going to be really good. It's going to make you care about Pinocchio in a way that I think you really didn't back in the day.
And yeah, I get that. I have seen the trailer. It looks great. They definitely learned from the past remakes, and they all put it into this new remake. Like the problem, like the animals you brought out, like they look realistic but cartoonish still. Like a big problem, like a big criticism of the Lion King was that it looked beautiful, but it lost its character because of how realistic it looked. But it found a perfect balance. It still looks like a cartoon. Like if you looked at side-by-side picture, like, oh, I see the resemblance. But it still looks realistic enough that it looks like real. And they didn't go too far into it. And actually, I really like the original Pinocchio. However, this one definitely breathes in some new life into it in a way that it feels like a new entity in a very good way. Pinocchio's finally getting some respect. Disney and Netflix finally noticed him. And basically, now, I honestly am excited for this. I'm really excited.
Yes, because Netflix is making their own version of it this year,
it's much darker, like a stop motion. But yeah, basically, so yeah, with the Disney Plus release, I think that I'm definitely looking forward to it. September 8th, it's Disney Plus Day. And,
now, I would say that underrated, one of my favorite remakes was actually The Lion King.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yep.
Loved it.
I didn't see what they saw about lack of character. I feel like they just made their own character.
It was and surprisingly, what's his name? The that made the Lion King.
Which Lion King?
James
Earl Jones? Who are you talking about? Which one? Simba? Mufasa?
No, I'm sorry.
John Favreau.
John, yes. He Monica's from Friends. Her rich boyfriend.
Oh.
Yes.
And
the man behind Mandalorian.
The guy who made Mandalorian, and Iron Man's
Happy.
Yes, Happy. Yes, there we go.
Happy.
So that's one of my favorite remakes from the Disney movies. It's not my favorite.
Yeah, I would say it's probably the favorite.
Everything else, Aladdin. Oh my god.
It goes from meh to blood.
That was horrible.
Aladdin was garbage.
Yes,
pure.
I till this day, the perfect genie would have been The Rock.
I think so. After we saw what he did in Maui.
Yes, after seeing him on Moana play Maui, he would have killed it.
Yeah.
He would definitely done better than Will Smith. I'll tell you that. I don't know. Will Smith did fine. He didn't do horrible in my opinion. He actually wasn't too bad.
Now what we realize is that the actual thing we were missing from Aladdin was him slapping someone. If he
should have slapped
Aladdin. Slapped Jafar,
he would
have been like, yo, that's it. That's the movie.
There we go.
That's the movie. Who knew that's all we were waiting for?
I cannot listen to that soundtrack. It makes my ears bleed.
It was very bad. Except for the one song.
Jasmine.
The one original song was really good. Naomi
Speechless
Scott was her, right?
Beautiful song.
The best
she did really
part
well.
of the remake of Aladdin was an original song that was not a part of Aladdin.
Exactly.
Yeah, they ruined the legacy.
Exactly.
And probably because the director didn't know anything about Aladdin or didn't care about it too much. Think about it.
It goes back. It's not just the directing, or it goes to the casting. It was just completely wrong from the beginning.
Like they should have put some people who can sing.
Seriously.
Number one, except for obviously Jasmine could sing, but
Yeah.
aside from that, Aladdin, he couldn't sing. He sounded bad. Like every
Will
Genie
Smith, they went with the
couldn't
name,
do
but
it.
no, that was
could have used a
I
better
don't know.
name.
The Genie's so hard though. Like I think no one can do as well as Robin Williams. Not even close.
So I think that's why they went with Will Smith, right? Because nobody can compete with
Robin.
Robin Williams. So they tried to go a complete different direction so that you wouldn't link the two together as far as comparing them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a separate take. The problem is that take is bad. And I
It
think
really was.
I think that, the thing about Robin Williams is he makes those voices and he does all those things.
Mm-hmm.
You could have gotten somebody to pay homage to him.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So somebody who does voices, somebody who does the things. There's people who do it who wouldn't do it exactly like him, but good enough that it'd be like, it's kind of paying that homage to him. So I think at the end of the day, that was a failure of a reboot.
They try to make the music a bit more modern because Will Smith.
Yeah.
The
the Genie
used
rapped.
to rap or
Yeah. I'm the Genie
raps
of the
or-
Lamb. Watch me sing, watch me
Okay,
rap or
but-
something ish
but
like that.
It's fine if it's rap or not rap. The problem is just that it doesn't flow with
No,
Aladdin.
I thought that was a cool take on it. The
Yeah.
problem was that he sounded horribly. The singing parts in there. It's like no, they should have heard that, and I think that once the commitment came in and okay, we signed up Will Smith, we got a big name, and you kind of can't tell them. I'm sure they couldn't necessarily be like, okay, well, let's get you on some singing
Well, no,
lessons.
once he was
And
there,
once
he
he
was-
was in, it was like, whoa, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Bravo!
Listen, I
But
like
he
Will Smith.
himself,
I like Will
himself
Smith.
had to hear this and be like, "Oh my gosh, I
Well,
just took their
I
money."
think he just, he knows what he was doing. He was trying to do the best he could, but he knows he can't sing, and it's just is what it is. It's not his fault. Anybody's gonna take the money. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's ever gonna sit there and be like, "Hold on, you want to use me to play Aladdin's genie?" Of course. What? How many millions? Sign me up. Sure. That's your fault if you don't want it to do
except
it.
Will Ferrell, because with Elf, they want to make an Elf part 2. Like this movie did so well, we want to make a sequel. They offered him hundreds of millions of dollars to be Buddy again, but he said no because he felt Elf was perfect on its own and a sequel would ruin it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think we were talking about different things, right?
No, essentially,
A lot of people
listen,
don't make the
this is-
sequel
this is-
of the original when they feel like they read the story and the story's not good. They don't want to damage their career.
Oh,
Will
you're
Smith
saying
didn't
because they're
get.
making an actual remake of it. This is the
This is
thing.
a
This was
remake.
a very sensitive role. This was a role played by Robin Williams that was perfected. Like he did things. He made the movie.
Yep.
Okay, and now we're looking for that role to be filled by someone else.
I think at the end of the day, he felt like no one can fill that role, so he wanted to do it in that different direction on purpose.
The
to
different
steer
direction
clear
should
of
have
it.
also been done with somebody who can execute it properly. That's the problem. They took a different direction, but it should have been a different
should have been Drake.
direction.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
He would have.
Hey,
He would've sung
that
the
could have
parts
been,
better.
That could have been, yes, for sure.
No, the Genie should have been Liam Neeson.
Ah, there we go. I would have watched
There
that.
you go. That's a new take for sure.
Yes.
For sure.
I'm
No,
a genie for
I
vengeance.
do believe that The Rock would have filled that
I think you're right.
role properly.
Rock could have been anyone. He could have been Jasmine. It would have been
And Kevin Hart should have been the parrot.
oh my god,
Oh my
Iago!
God,
He barely said
yes,
a word.
Yes.
You know what it is? Listen, what they were trying to do, aside from, for whatever reason, the genie, because I guess the genie's not from any country, right? So they did whatever.
Yeah.
But because they wanted to find people who were
Filling in the role.
from the native from that country, they didn't want to, whitewash it or put other
India.
people in there, and they wanted to have people who were native to that country. It did limit the pool, but the problem is that I've listened to their music, and their music is really good, and they have a lot of good singers. I don't know how they settled on Aladdin. I feel like I feel like Will Smith would have been more tolerable if the rest of the cast filled out the movie to make it right.
Better.
The problem is that it was all garbage, except for
It
Jasmine.
was, yes.
It was all garbage. and he was supposed to be the relief. It's like, oh, at least the genie is gonna be funny or good, or but he was not good. So
Not
it
at
just
all.
brought everything down completely.
I mean, I think Genie is a big part of the link. Like, obviously, the original Aladdin, I think, is a great movie on its own, but Genie really defined it. You think of Aladdin, most likely you think about the genie.
Yes, and then the name that you can't block out of your head because the movie's name is Aladdin. So as much as they had to put effort into finding the right genie, they also had to put the same effort into finding the right Aladdin, and they failed at both.
Yeah, he was not the right Aladdin.
He
Like,
was not the
in
right
any way,
Aladdin,
shape, or
and he
form.
was not the right genie. The end. And then there's no movie. The parrot was super funny in the movie as well.
Yeah, Iago.
And he was nowhere to be found, and I think
Yeah, they just made him a bird, right?
And he was there, but he just squawked most of the
Kevin
time.
Hart would have killed it.
Yep. He
They
would
would
have
have,
been so funny.
yeah, they would have been so good in
You know what I'm
there.
thinking? You know what I'm just envisioning right now?
What?
The cast of Jumanji doing
Just do it.
That
Dude.
listen, there's been so many movies, and I thought about this when we were speaking of in the beginning. What were we talking about? The remake of Hocus Pocus.
Oh yeah.
No,
And
the sequel.
The sequel to it, and the Jumanji has to be. Look, Robin Williams
Great
was,
remake. Look at
yeah.
He was in Jumanji. It all links.
He was in the original one. In the remakes, I have loved each one that they've made.
Yep.
The spin they've taken on it with The Rock and Kevin Hart, and what's her
Black.
name? Yes, Jack
And the
Black.
girl from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes, they've made that movie. That movie
That was
has.
such a good movie.
Yeah.
They're filming part 3, right?
I hope
Well,
so.
part 4, yeah, supposedly. I think.
Part 4?
Yeah,
There's 3
Jumanji.
of
No, the original
No,
Jumanji is
the
canon. It's canon though. Like they
original,
mentioned him. Like
I'm not
remember
saying
in the
it's not
game.
canon. I'm sorry.
No,
I
look,
meant
there's
just
a 4.
specifically
From
about
the
the
remakes.
new ones. They're making a third
Oh.
new
No
one.
more. Yes.
Yeah, I get that. Of the
With
new
the
series,
with the new
yeah.
cast.
Yeah, that's all I was asking. I'm not
Yeah.
dismissing the first one. I love the original.
I like how they handled it. Like they didn't make it about it, but there's like little nods. Like I think who Nick Jonas played. I don't remember who the character
He was
was.
a
Yes, he
character.
was.
Oh, yeah.
Nick Jonas did.
Like he was in a 4. He's like, yeah, this guy Alan Menken made this, so I stayed here or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I probably said his name wrong. Alan something, whatever. But yeah.
Yeah, the original it's its own thing, and then I feel like the remakes have they're stacking.
Yeah, so there's good. The hard part about remakes and reboots and stuff is that when you see good ones, you don't understand how the bad ones are made.
Yes,
Because it's like the blueprint's there. Like, get good characters.
the foundation is there.
Yeah,
Just-
like you see what people have done to make these reboots and remakes good. So how about you just follow the ideas? Obviously, it's not the same because they're different movies, but the cast has to be right, man. You can't
Agreed.
fill it in with nonsense.
No.
Like, if you're gonna put a no-name person, that no-name person needs
Has
to be
excellent.
amazing.
Yes,
And there are
And-
plenty of movies with no-name people who become named people because they're so good.
yes.
Like
and then
Spider-Man.
Tom Holland.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's
Right?
I have
He's a
to.
great
he's
actor.
one of my favorite.
Yeah, he's amazing,
Yeah.
and he's young, and he's gonna be a big star as
Oh, he
continues
will.
to go.
hmm
Because he has the charisma, he has that look. He's gonna be good.
And
Yeah.
come on, let's stop patronizing people. You cannot just go with a name, okay? So Will Smith was not. He was not the right genie. Let's stop trying to patronize us and pull us in with the fact that he's a big actor or whatever. To some, he has a lot of fans, but
I'm a fan,
yeah, I know.
especially after the slap.
Don't say that.
Who's
That
Get
Yeah.
over
was
Bad Boys 4.
Who stood up now?
No.
Bad Boys 4. Now he's actually a bad boy. That's what they're gonna call it. Actually, bad boy.
I'm
for
a
life.
bad boy now.
Listen, I can acknowledge a good movie from in a good actor. I've never been a fan of. I'm not a fan of Will Smith, but I can see where he's done some good movies. But I'm not it's a Will Smith movie. Let's go watch it. No, I'm not a fan like that. Never been. And the slap was distasteful, and it was disgusting that he did that it was disgusting that he did that, period, and the way that he did it and where he did it was just no.
But if he stops him in a parking lot, well, okay, that's
It
fine.
was also gangster. It was
It was not.
I
Listen,
don't
a
support
slap,
that.
open hand, a slap, that was.
There's nothing more gangster than somebody
You know-
just slapping you live on television.
Let me tell you something. You know what's more gangster than that? That's not gangster. What's gangster is Chris Rock standing there taking that slap and being like, oh well, okay, let's keep going.
That's true.
That was a bitch ass slap.
Listen, there's multi-gangster
The
things
fact
that
that
took
you
place.
came out there and you open-handedly slapped him and he just stood there like,
Like,
all right.
okay.
So let's continue. You just look like a bitch.
No, that's a
In
TV
my
moment to
opinion.
remember. It would be funny if after the Oscars he's like, all right, boy, what'd you say? You try to slap me? And it just beats up out of him. But yeah, that would have been something.
Chris Rock had the power of pressing charges, having Will Smith taken out of his moment, and he did not. So
That's
kudos
true.
to him. Will Smith sat there, and it was. This is what was the more disgusting part. Sitting there when he got his award, he's giving a speech about how he wants to be a portal of love or peace.
A beacon
or
of love
beacon
and
of
happiness.
love. Come on, bro.
That's
You
so
literally
corny.
got up and slapped someone on stage. Shut up with that nonsense. Shut up with the clearing of the name. The fact that the other actors went up to him to see if he was okay, emotionally all right, after he went and literally got on stage and physically assaulted someone else, that's ridiculous. No.
Yeah, basically they even like a bunch of people like on stage, like they started talking about it. There's like pictures taken of basically him talking to him. Even there was like a thing where Andrew Garfield was like making fun of it to like a friend of his next to him or something like that. And yeah, basically everyone was impacted that night. And it's like
Everyone
even though no one
sat
acted
there
like it.
like a bunch of. I don't even want to.
Jim
say
Carrey
what I
said it made him sick to his stomach when he got a standing ovation after
props
that.
to Jim Carrey for coming out and speaking his mind when all these spineless, is what I believe he called them, sat there applauding Will Smith after he went and did that crap.
You shot him?
Yeah, that was ridiculous. They all sat there like a bunch of idiots on their high horses acting like that didn't happen. Jim Carrey, love him for that. Jim Carrey's funny as can be. He's been at it for freaking forever. Remember the Ace Ventura
Jim Carrey's
movies?
really good.
He's freaking.
I would say that I understand the idea that it was bad. I also understand that if you disrespect my wife live on television,
So-
if I want to slap you, I'm gonna slap you.
So you're gonna be a
Because-
piece of trash because he was trash to you? That makes
Yeah.
you worse.
No.
Will Smith had to stick up his bum from the beginning of the show. The presenter, I forget her name. She made a joke and she called up Will Smith and
Amy
she called
Schumer?
up
No, that wasn't her.
Regina. She was
Wasn't
in the
one
movie,
what Regina Halls.
Yes. So she called him up, and she called up a few actors, and they all went in the joke, making fun, and Will Smith was too
Cool.
took the high horse. I'm
I
too
don't
cool.
know.
High road, and I'm too cool to be whatever.
No.
Doing what?
Kill
I don't
yourself.
remember that.
She was she said she was looking. Oh, she was gonna do a search on the guys, like some guys, and she called them up, and she was just making a joke, and he didn't want to go up on stage and acting like he was too good for it.
A search
Like, come
of
on,
what?
Will Smith.
A search for
Oh, for
Like
like,
cavity, like tapping, like searching.
like for a man.
Yeah,
Like he
yeah,
want-
but,
okay.
but she
he-
was gonna like check or whatever. It was a joke. She didn't sat there and actually do this. Come on, stop taking yourself so seriously because you might be getting an Oscar because you already knew you were getting one when your whole career was made on you being a clown.
I mean, to me,
I
to
feel
think
like
he was
everybody's
a nice
forgetting
guy.
that he's married. Like, I feel
Open
like-
marriage, open marriage.
Open as
But
can
doesn't matter.
be.
But if he
Doors
doesn't want.
wide open.
but he
Don't
doesn't-
make a clown out of yourself with your relationship and then try to act like you have this almighty.
But if they have an open marriage, they're still married. That doesn't mean that they don't love and respect each other. That means that they're choosing to leave sex out of their only each other have sex with each other type deal, right? But that's they still do that. So he's married.
When your
If he
wife
doesn't
is,
want to be on TV with a woman doing that stuff to him, whether it was going to happen or not, that's his right. So I think at the end of the day, it's all perspective.
Mhm.
Okay, so the way people feel about it is how they look at it. I do not feel any negativity towards what Will Smith did. I am married, and I understand a man not allowing another man to disrespect his wife especially in public on one of the most watched streams in the world. I don't co-sign that. So the fact that he went ahead and did what he had to do is what he had to do.
Well,
That's
They
it.
bring
It doesn't
in
matter.
comedians and they know what they sign up for.
Well, he didn't bring him in.
No, I'm sorry.
obviously,
They bring in the
Will Pecker, I think, was the director of it.
whoever
presenters.
does
Presenters,
it.
yeah.
Yes, they bring in the presenters, and the presenters are supposed to. This has been done for years. They make fun of the actors. Okay.
But you can't take a
That-
little joke about his
and
wife.
that's it.
Yeesh.
It's that simple. That's what they do. That's what you sign up for. It is what it is. You make plenty of freaking money to.
Make jokes.
Yeah, you get rewarded in a whole other way. You have a night where you have to sit there in your free, amazing freaking outfit, and you have to take a joke or two at your expense. That's what they do. It's been done.
But hey,
Yeah, but it's
we
a
won in
personal-
the end. I mean, he's banned for 10 years, so, well.
Well, I mean, but that doesn't matter. He still won the Oscar. So
He
as long
took
as
his Oscar. He,
he
had
wasn't
his
going to win an
moment.
Oscar in the next
He
10
made a clown
years.
out of himself.
I'm glad he won his Oscar. People were saying that he should take it away.
No,
I
he's
don't
been
think
doing
so.
It doesn't, this
Because-
one moment doesn't take away all
Well,
the
his
years that everybody's
Oscar
been
was
doing.
for his role.
Yeah.
I think he was still caught up in the role.
And it wasn't a
There
humanity
you go, King
award.
David, right?
King
Yeah.
Richard.
King
No,
Richard.
King Richard actually came out after the slap, and he was like, "We do not condone slapping
Yes,
in this
see?
family."
Yeah, so at the end of the day, obviously everybody's going to have their own perspectives on it. It's not going to change. It's always going to be what you feel based off your thoughts on it. My thought, I think he did what he had to do. I wouldn't say to do that, but I understand a man feeling like he doesn't want to hear his wife get played on the stage. in
I
front of everybody.
understand that, and if you're in a different scenario, 100%, but you kind of know that this is what they do. You know what you were going there for. You know
No,
what they're doing.
I mean, I wouldn't say that you're signing up for somebody to.
if you're
say
going
something
over
about your
there,
wife.
they had Rick from The Office, the original
Mhm.
Office, Rick Gervais.
Yep.
The original Office, UK.
Yeah.
Wow.
They had him host, and he came in for everybody. Like this is just what they do.
It's comedy.
But the idea is that when you do comedy, if you do something that doesn't hold you from any repercussions,
So let's
right?
talk about
Like if
what
you were
came
just standing
from
in
that.
front of somebody and you were just talking hella crap to them and saying, "Wow, you look so goofy. Look at your hair. It looks ridiculous.
Oh,
look at your
yuck.
face. Oh my God, what happened? I'm so funny." That's the same thing. Just because it's on TV, just because it's a comic, doesn't mean that it's not changing what they're doing.
Okay,
So a
so
person's free to
what
respond the way
came
they
from
want to
it?
respond.
What came from it? Chappelle's on stage, and now people feel like they have the right to jump up. And
Oh, he got assaulted on
because-
stage.
Yes, he got tackled on stage.
Yeah.
And
But
it's,
that's still-
again, it's we're killing comedy.
Yeah.
But it doesn't.
It was bad enough that in social media this was happening. Things were getting canceled. You can't hear a joke without finding something wrong with it. And now on top of it, we are physically assaulting the people that are telling the jokes. No. I think
But
it's-
again, when you tell jokes at other people's expense, there can be repercussions.
But they
It's
can't
a
just get up
choice.
and hit you.
But who? Yes, they can
They
if
have
they
to.
want to. Whether they get in trouble or not, that's
what I was gonna
that's
say.
the problem.
And that's the thing.
But they can do
Okay.
whatever they
So
want.
you're right. They can do whatever they want. And Will Smith had the right to go ahead and get up there and slap the crap out of Chris Rock. And I think Chris Rock should have done what he had the right to do, which was call the cops and get him taken out of that area and have him miss his entire Oscar moment. There should have been consequences for what Will Smith did. Okay, there were consequences for what Chris Rock did, and if there is a reason to explain that Will Smith should have done this, then the consequences of the slap should have came right after.
But he did
It's
get
my
consequences put on him.
The consequences should have been that he didn't have his Oscar moment and he was taken out of there by the cops.
But
That should have been.
But again,
If we're excusing one thing,
but
we
one
gotta
thing was
excuse the
brought
other.
upon by one person, the other person was reacted, right? So if the one person didn't do it, then the other person wouldn't have reacted.
But are we
Right.
supposed to be responsible for the reaction? You can't put
But
on
what I'm
someone
saying
else.
is that, well, you can
You're-
put on the fact that somebody did something and I chose to react the way I reacted because of what they did. If he didn't talk about, first of all, he was talking about somebody who has a disease and he's making fun of it, right? That's not funny. Right?
But they
That's
didn't.
not
But
funny
he
to the
didn't know
person.
that
Yes,
he
he did because
had.
it's already been out.
I
It's
didn't
been a
know.
Yeah, but he is part of that world, not you or me or anybody here, right? We're not part of that world, but they know, right? People who follow these celebrities know about this stuff. She has a blog. She has a show, The Red Table, where she openly has discussed it in the
That's
past.
assuming he sits there and watches
They
this
all know
stuff.
each other's stuff.
Like they,
It-
I'm pretty
it
sure
all
he's
gets-
got other things
when
going on.
when she said that on publicly, it was a news item. It was something that was publicly discussed. She said it, and then it was picked up by the news, right? So, the point is, at the end of the day, first of all, we're not any of these people, right? So it doesn't matter.
No.
But the point is
Listen,
that
and
just in
opinions
life, right? You
change,
need to know
right?
that if you go out anywhere and you say things, yeah, you want to feel like I'm safe. I can say whatever I want. But the reality is if you go somewhere and you run your mouth about somebody,
I agree
you
with
are
that,
always
1,000%.
running the risk of what's gonna happen. If you go somewhere thinking that you could talk badly about other people because you're a comic or you're my First
right
Amendment
of
is right that I can
yes,
say what I want to
agree
say.
with that.
That is the point of this. If you say something, you have to be aware that there may be repercussions that
I
you
agree
don't like.
100%. I also feel that it was kind of a what you signed up for scenario, and that's just my opinion. But on Saturday, August 27th, Splatoon.
Whoa! Splatoon 3! Oh my god! Yes!
Let's talk about that.
All right. So there are some Splatoon related things, including the test fire, or what is it called? The Splatfest. Wait, who won anyway? I did participate as well as her and him and her, and the game itself runs great. A big thing that people were talking about was like, how is this any more different than Splatoon 2? And a direct kind of showed people how it was different, but it feels different. It plays different. It's refined. Internet is way better because they're using a new network system for the game itself, and like servers. And it is the most refined online game on Nintendo Switch for sure. It runs the best. It works super well. Not gonna lie, this was a triumph.
Okay.
What do you guys say?
So immediately, I don't feel any of that. I actually just feel like it was more Splatoon. It felt like when we played Splatoon 2 and we had fun playing, it's the same thing that I feel now. It was very fun to play the game. It, to me, did not feel like a new Splatoon. The boards, even though supposedly they were new, they felt very reminiscent of the old boards to me. But that's not a bad thing. I felt like it was fun. I had a great time. The weapons, if there were different weapons, I didn't notice them that way. I think I couldn't tell you if they were new or old, but the game is fun, and I think that's the big thing. I think Splatoon 3 is fun. As far as like how the game ran, I mean, honestly, when you in the open worlds part where you're seeing like the city,
The frames are choppy.
it ran horribly. Your character moves horribly, and the NPCs that are in the world, they move even worse than your person. So that is very, very bad. Once you get into the actual game, though, it is super smooth. But online wise, we had horrible connections a lot of times where it kept disconnecting.
Towards the end, but
Yeah,
we did
it
play
kept
for a long
disconnecting.
time.
Yeah, but this
without
is
an issue.
Nintendo we're talking about. The people who sell us cardboard. So what do we expect from them?
But I mean, but that's
Well, no, that's
we
not-
expect
that's not
what we
right to
expect
say.
based off
Yes.
of
No.
what's available out there,
So
right?
this is what I would say. I played. I had so much fun. The boards, the boards are quick. the playtime.
Yeah.
You jump
The
in.
matches are
The matches. Thank you. The matches are quick and freaking exciting. I had a great time. I don't. Every other game, like we spoke of Fortnite and stuff, it's a little bit more serious. This is just light and fun and family and just go in and enjoy. I had a
Until
great
you play
time.
a monster team who is so good
Obliterates you.
that they destroy your soul. But no, that's yeah.
No, I had
agree.
so much fun. I wish it was for a whole weekend and not just that one day. I can't wait to play the game. I can't wait to play it. We tried the 4-on-4, which we did pretty well in, but I will say that whole triangle with 3 teams was not what I expected. I thought that they put obviously we spoke about this before, but it was 2 teams of 2 on each end, and then from the middle is a team of 4. The team of 4, after playing, it seems like they're down deep, right? Where the other 2 teams come from higher, and you cannot get to their bases. So if they cover, even though there's a team of 2, if they cover their bases completely, you can't get up there to fix that. So you're essentially on a downhill.
Yep, and your
stuck
middle
there the
bases
entire time.
are reachable.
Yes.
So they can come
And it's literally 4 people because there's 2 different teams, right? Coming at your area. There's no way did we even win one of those?
no.
We went
Track
at it.
color?
Yeah,
No,
it
not
didn't.
once. We
That
played
did
a lot
not
of
work
them.
out. I think it's
We won a lot of the 4-on-4
yes. That's what
turf
I'm
wars.
saying. So it wasn't a lack of knowing how to play.
Yep.
I feel like it was, even though it sounds fair it sounded off balance. It's kind of like, okay, 4 people you're getting, and then the other 2 teams get only 2. There's no way, there is, and it's very hard to catch up with those teams that have a complete base that you cannot get to or touch, and they're coming as essentially a foursome to attack your foursome. It wasn't suitable for us.
Yeah, so for the people who are on
Yeah.
the 4 side, it's like playing against it's normal as far as 4-on-4. Like you're playing
Yes.
against 4 people, even though the 2 teams are split. So
Yes.
you're still playing against 4 people, but they have the advantage that they automatically, if they fill out their sides, the percentage is already built in to be a certain amount no matter what.
Yes.
And then you have to
You
hope
have
to do
to
it.
essentially be exceptional as that team of 4 to really come out and win
Yeah,
over
like you
the
have to be
teams of
really
2.
good.
And I would say this, and this is how I know that what we're saying is 100% valid. When we were playing, the team that covered their base completely and properly always won. We played against teams that they wouldn't necessarily cover their entire area before they came down, and that team never won. We actually won over those teams. We came in 2nd place when their bases weren't properly covered, which brings to our valid point that you can get up there, and as long as they cover their area properly before they come down, they're just bound to win.
Plus,
Yep.
we played a lot of the 4v4 and won
A lot of them. So
the fact that we couldn't win one of the tricolors, and because we were a team of 4,
Mhm.
it always put us as the team of 4 in
Yes.
those modes. And you can't pick the mode you play, so they just put you in whatever they want.
Yeah,
it
to
was
put you.
literally frustrating every time we were put into that mode after you realize that it was very difficult to get a leg up.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that we basically carried our side. We were Team Scissors, and I think that we basically made the game for them. So, yeah. And also, I think that the weapons was another big thing about Splatoon that was super cool. Like, I used to Splatana, like the Splatana wiper, which is basically like a katana, but every time you slash it, it shoots out ink. And depending on how like hard you slash it, how much you hold the trigger and let go, it determines how far it goes and what kind of slash you do. I think there's even motion controls maybe, and you get to use it like a sword, and it's pretty
I
fun.
did have a lot of fun picking different weapons. The paintbrushes were super cool.
Now, is that the
the
real game?
roller?
The roller was really good.
Yeah.
But in the real game, can you just pick weapons, or do you have to
Yeah.
unlock them?
Oh, you have to unlock them. Like, obviously, this was like, they gave you everything because this doesn't transfer, and it's just meant to just have fun
It
with
does
it.
not transfer. Yeah, you did say
And you
that.
have to start again
So you
when
have
you
to
get the
buy
real
the
game.
guns.
No,
Yeah.
you have to.
Well, not buy.
rank them.
No. You don't rank them. You get like this in-game currency, and then you go to Sheldon's shop, which is like a gun place
And you
and
just
with
buy the
weapons.
guns,
You just
right.
buy the guns. Yeah.
Yeah, but you buy them based on what points? The points that
Yeah, these little tickets.
Yeah. Okay, so it's a fair start for everybody who's gonna start the game, right? 'Cause-
Yeah. Yeah, no one's overpowered now
Yeah.
when the game starts.
Yeah, but that's only the first day.
Mhm.
And then the people who started in the morning and didn't stop for the rest of the day, they have every gun and they're gonna wreck you when you
Yeah.
play for 2 hours and
Essentially.
It's all over. But I think no, the game was really fun. I do feel like graphically it looks the same to me. I didn't notice any big like wow, this looks so much better.
That's why I felt it's a tiny bit better because again, textures are better, the environments look a bit nicer, but you know, not like insane.
And that's the other thing too with the environments. You don't even like. I know it's set in different worlds. Like the outside
wasteland.
environments are different, but you don't look at that, right?
Well, what I did realize is that I had spoke about the colors being so vivid and everything because this is what they kind of push onto you. Even when they made the Walmart version of this game came, if you pre-order it, came with the squid plushie, and the plushie is actually made in neon colors, right? Which accentuates into the fact that these colors are supposed to kind of come at you. And I didn't get that from it. I thought it looked more on the dull side.
Yeah, more mute.
Yes. So that was something I was a little disappointed with because even the cover of the game is like coming at you with the paint and everything. So I wish it had been more neon and more contrast in the.
Nah, well remember, this is a Splatfest. They automatically always take place at night, no matter what time of day you're playing. So it always looks a bit dimmer. And also, you're restricted to 3 colors. If you pick scissors, you're red. Blue, you're paper. Paper, you're blue. And rock, you're yellow. So obviously there's a bunch more colors and it's more randomized. But this was obviously just a taste and you were more restricted. But obviously the game will look much nicer and, you know, have a lot more to it when the actual game comes out
when the
on
game
September
comes
9th.
out, for sure. I'm excited for it. I thought that was great. I had so much fun. For anyone interested, they released, it's available now, a Splatoon Switch.
Yep, a Switch OLED
Splatoon,
model.
Yes.
Special edition console. It does not it does not include the game.
No.
But it has Splatoon-esque design.
Yes.
So that's pretty neat.
It is. That was really cool. I saw they have it at Walmart, Best Buy, the Nintendo store has it, Amazon, and Target, and some of them are obviously you order it online, but some of them are only find in store. So you have to go to the store and see if they have it in.
Yeah, I guess if you're holding off on getting the new OLEDs, then this would be a cool way.
Yeah, to get a different, unique version of it.
Yeah, I think it was really fun. It's a good game. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun when it comes out.
This is definitely
it's just-
Nintendo's year of 3.
Yes.
I'm really looking forward to when they come out with a new Switch. I want
Yeah, you can't wait for that.
Amplified graphics, things like even with these games, they can look so much better. You know, the resolution is so low in comparison to what's out there in gaming. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just even when you put it on the big screen, you're limited to 1080p, if that.
I get
it's
it.
It's just aesthetically. I'm waiting for so much more to come from these.
One thing is that
games,
Nintendo's big 3, like the 3 threes, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Splatoon 3, Bayonetta 3, 3 threequels, which is wild. But I feel like all 3 look really good in their own right. Like Xenoblade Chronicles, that one actually came out. The game looks beautiful for a Switch game, but imagine if it had like 4K, maybe even 8K, and it had beautiful graphics in a like actual, like maybe on an Xbox or something like that. It would look insane.
Yeah, you can see like when I'm playing it on the handheld mode, like sometimes it's crisp on the little 720p screen, but then when there's like more people on there and there's like you're in a bigger area, you just see like it's so blurry.
So
Like
much
the game is
potential.
amazing, but it just like I can't help but see. Oh my god, I wish it was on better
hardware.
system. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to see these graphically impressive games. Like, I mean, this is the reality. If the games don't look better, I don't need a new game. I don't. If I wanted to play an old looking game, I can go back and play the bangers that already exist.
Well, imagine, but what if it's necessary to the story? Like, obviously, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was a new story in a new world, so obviously they couldn't just be like, well, it's on old hardware, so let's scrap every plane we have.
But what I'm saying is hold that game. Hold it to the next system. Make it worthwhile for the big jump. Again, I do like the game a lot. I mean, and it's not ugly. It's aesthetically, it's the art style that is nice.
Yeah.
It's just that, you know, I don't know.
Okay, like
just
Breath of the
wanna
Wild.
see
It's
that.
Like, it's a beautiful game because of the art
from
style.
Nintendo.
What do you say? Sorry again,
We
please.
need things coming out from Nintendo for the Nintendo fans. If this is what they're doing now, it is what it is. It keeps us going with the system, right?
Yeah, they can't just hold everything.
I think Splatoon, this one they did a really good job with it, and it's much funner than I remember.
What about it was funner?
Well, it's just like what I remember from it is like, alright, you shoot paint, blah blah blah, but it was just like funner playing with you guys and stuff.
Okay, so it was just as fun playing.
Yeah.
Anything particular you liked about it that maybe have been different from the second one?
Well, no, not really.
That's crazy to think that this franchise started as a wacky Wii U title when Nintendo was at its most desperate hour, and who would have thought it became such an important franchise? I mean, 2015 was the first one, 2017 was the second one, and the third one now in like 2022, like, I don't know, I think that this might be, like, in the future, might become one of the most prominent franchises along, like, almost like second tier or among Mario and Zelda. So, I don't know.
I wouldn't go that far. I'd
agree.
say that this is probably their last one of relevancy unless they do something bigger and bolder come next
Yeah,
time.
it's
Because
just a way of having a shooter that's would be actually good on their thing because it's not like a real shooter.
That's more
Just
kid
like
friendly.
paint Stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I doubt it won't stand alongside like the likes of Call of Duty or something like that. But I think in the scope of Nintendo and their franchises, I think that this will become something very special. And I think that this won't be the last Splatoon. Like, it's not gonna be a trilogy of online shooters.
No,
think
I
it's just
didn't.
gonna be-
No, I said that this is the last one of relevancy unless they do something bigger and bolder. It's part 2 was cool. Part 3 is fun. It's cool, but in the world where things are evolving, this didn't evolve. This did more of the same. So you
Yeah.
get the free pass one time, great. But if they try to do this for a Splatoon 4, why? What's the reason?
I think it was Splatoon 3.
Exactly.
I agree. I thought that's why I was not excited when they announced it, because I was like, oh, it's probably just gonna be a better Splatoon 2. I think the changes they made were enough for it to warrant a purchase. Like online, it might have been shoddy at the beginning, but still, it's better than Splatoon 2, which kicked you out all the time. And also the lobby, being able to train in there rather than having to stare at a screen with like, someone's coming soon. It was the most boring thing known to mankind. And I like now, it's like so much more interactive. The weapons, the Splatana, what are they? There's a bunch of new guns and weapons and stuff like that. I think they did enough.
Yeah,
to
but
warrant a
new
sequel.
weapons are just that's the bare minimum.
Yeah, I feel like they
Like,
need to
that's
do like
not
a
a-
power up mode or something.
Something in that war.
There's a new story
the
mode.
war mode that
Salmon
tri-war thing wasn't good.
Oh, tricolor.
The Salmon Run, I'm sure it'll be. We'll see
That's
if
my
they do
favorite Splatoon mode.
We'll see if they make something bigger than what it was, because as it is now, the other one was good, but it's not like life changing. We'll see what
And
happens.
then of
with
course
this one.
there's the story mode, which I mean there is an audience for the story mode.
But we'll see what that story mode is. Again, this
Yeah.
is right now. All we can go is based off what we played, and what we played is more of the same. More weapons, sure. Different levels, sure. But like I said, are the levels? Oh my God, what is this? Wow, this is so unique and new. No, they're just another layout.
It almost feels
of
like
the
Splatoon
same
2
things.
Definitive Edition.
Yeah, like it's more of the same
Yeah.
with some add-on bonuses. So maybe Salmon Run will be very different. Maybe the story modes will be very different. We'll see when it comes out. But right now,
Yeah.
it's super fun game. It doesn't take away about how fun it is. But what I'm saying is that this could have been just a DLC pack for Splatoon
Yeah.
2 because the
Exactly.
graphics are not better. not things haven't really changed too much.
Now, the idea of it is almost a little deja vu of Mario Galaxy. Like, Mario Galaxy, the original Mario Galaxy was considered a masterpiece. It's one of the greatest Marios. And I do agree, it's one of the best. It might even be better than Odyssey. It's so beautiful. Even on today, like with the Switch, and even the Wii version still looks really nice. And stuff like that. It's still really well made. However, Part 2 didn't start off as Part 2. It was just an extra, a better version of Mario Galaxy. But basically, instead, it was literally going to be called Mario Galaxy and more. But they realized they actually wanted to make the game appealing and sell it. So they call it Mario Galaxy 2. It follows the exact same storyline, exact same plot, except the intro is very simplified. And basically the whole point of it is that it takes the story, takes the levels, and makes them crazier and better. Adds new characters like Yoshi's in there now, Luigi's in there now. It adds a whole bunch of more plot and stuff like that to it. It's the same game, storyline-wise, but it's just better in every way. And they literally just took what made it good, and they made new music for it. They made new level designs. They added the thing with the Yoshis, different kinds of Yoshis. They made it a whole new game out of the same game.
It's just a definitive version of the
It is
original
basically
game.
definitive,
Yeah,
but almost everyone that's played it says Galaxy 2 is better. The only thing though,
but it is the point because it's the definitive version.
it is.
So if they make if they're purposely just making the first one better, it wouldn't make sense for anybody to say that the original version was better. They're literally saying that they made it better.
I know. The only thing about Part 1, the only thing I think was better about Part 1 was the music. They did reorchestrate all the music. However, the first one did have superior music, I think.
Okay.
But
Well,
other than that,
that's a personal
that's
taste.
personally. But other than that, I think that.
Well, I mean, just I'm hopeful for when the game comes out. We'll see what else Splatoon has to offer. Right now, it's fun. You know, it's a game that we'll play together and have a good time. Yes, but as far as like, am I looking at this game like, oh my god, what a new dope game? No, it's just more of the same. If they would have said that this was DLC, just like they're doing Mario Kart, right? So long after, they just slapped more levels, right? They could just put those levels together and be like, hey, we're doing the new Mario Kart.
Thank God they didn't do that.
Yeah, but that's what this is so far, right? This is just a few more guns, new levels, same game, right?
Yeah.
Graphics are the same, everything else is the same.
They've been selling us the same game for like 8 years.
Yeah, so and there's nothing wrong with that in general. Just that's why I said that if they try to do this again for Part 4, it's not gonna fly. They need to do something significant to make it worthwhile.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts on Splatoon 3?
Not really. I mean,
well, I know that I saw the trailer and they do this thing with the amiibos that's pretty useless, and I feel like they should let other amiibos in.
Oh yeah, you scan your amiibo and then you get to take pictures with your amiibo
your
character.
Inkling person or something, like make him wear the Mario hat. You can jump higher if you scan Luigi or whatever, or you can float with Peach. I don't know.
That's what they should do, is what you're saying. Gotcha.
That sounds cool, but
Something
here's the thing about it.
With
They made the characters come to life, and if they do that for every amiibo, that's gonna be obscene. You know how many amiibo there are?
I never said
well,
that
meaning,
they had to
but there's
make
no
them come to
purpose. What
life.
you're saying is there's no purpose right now for them. So why even do it, right?
Yeah.
Like, why even bother? What they should do is, in a single-player game, allow them, basically like Zelda, right? When you use the amiibo, they give you something.
They give you a bunch of items.
They should have the story mode where if you use the amiibos, something comes from it.
Exactly.
They can't use it in multiplayer, obviously, because that would be cheating. But yeah, that's a good idea.
All right.
I
agree about that. Okay, so joke of the day. What do you call a pig that can do karate? Pork chop.
Nice.
All right. Now, this is us here, Mario Kart Madman, and we hope you have an awesome rest of your day. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.